All right, so it is absolutely freezing out today. It is only 20 degrees outside, I think, 20, 19 degrees, wind chill down into probably the 10 degree, very windy, very brisk, very, very strong winds. It's super cold. Today is like a really cold day. And the weather people say that it's going to warm up tomorrow and Sunday. So to them, warming up is 39, 40 degrees. That's still kind of cold to me. It's not freezing, frigid, but it's still not warm. Warm to me, if it was going to warm, it'd be like 65. That's warming up to me. 39 degrees is not warming up. But I guess for the winter and for the temperatures that we've had the past few days, I guess that's considered warming up. Um They did call for a little bit of snow and sleet tomorrow night, which isn't good, so I don't know. But anyway, um, I kind of wanted to um, kind of talk a little bit more and continue a little bit more about talking about the devalue and the breakup that I had. I did a pretty darn good job remembering everything. Remember, I'm going back 10, 12, 13 years ago when I'm talking about this stuff, and this is not fresh in my mind. So when I talk about this, it's kind of difficult to remember, and it is. And remembering the sequence of how things happen too is takes some real thinking. There's something that I forgot to add in there, and I don't know if this really makes a difference, but I'm gonna kind of add it into my devalue breakup story. Um, and then get into my final thoughts about the whole thing. Okay. So when I was talking the other day, yesterday or the day before I did that video, I was talking about the things that the changes that I saw in my relationship with my ex narcissist while we were in a relationship, and the red flags that were, you know, the red flags that were waving around in my face that I just didn't know anything. I just didn't know better. I didn't know he was a narcissist. I didn't know what narcissism was in those days. I just thought that my relationship was going bad. I didn't know that he was a narcissist, but I wanted to talk a little bit and tell a little more of the story. I remember today, I remembered something else that happened during the devalue stage. I remember Valentine's Day had come, and Valentine's Day was usually something that I always looked forward to. Anybody who's in a relationship usually does look forward to Valentine's Day. Um, maybe having a special dinner, ordering something really special, or maybe your partner will make you something that you like really. Flowers were always a big thing, and my ex usually always got me flowers. He always brought home flowers for me, whether he stopped on the way home and picked me up some. Um, I think once or twice he actually sent them to me on Valentine's Day, and I believe most of the time we were together during the time I lived with him, so usually he would bring me home flowers, and I always thought it was the greatest thing in the world when he used to get me flowers. And this probably during the last year. It wasn't the last year because we never made it to 2015, but that was probably 2014. That Valentine's Day, I did not receive anything from my ex. This was the first time that he never got me anything, nothing. Um, Once I started to see that the relationship was starting to go bad, really bad, I not that I tried to save it. I wasn't trying to save it, but I was trying to see what he would do if I got him something for now, we didn't know. I had no idea if we were even going to celebrate Valentine's Day that year. I mean, I always took it that we were. I mean, I was still with him. We were still together. Uh, at that point, we were still seeing each other pretty regularly, kind of, yeah. Although I was still very suspicious because this is during the devalue. I was still seeing him. So I went out and I got him like one of his favorite bands, a music band. I bought him like a t-shirt from that band. I went to Hot Topic and got him that. I got him a bunch of different things, showering gel, loofah, all that stuff. Um, and I thought, well, maybe this will make a difference, that I'm showing some interest. I'm actually buying him some presents for Valentine's Day. I got him a really nice card. I bought him a bunch of different things. I don't remember exactly everything, but those are a few things that I got on my and probably a pair of sweatpants, pajama pants type stuff, things like that. And he got me nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing. And I remember we were driving in the truck. We were coming home from maybe the supermarket or something like that, and I said to him, "Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. I mean, I think I said something like, "Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. I wonder what I'm going to get." And he said nothing. And I said, "Nothing? You're not going to get me anything for Valentine's Day?" He said to me, "No, you think I'm cheating on you. Why should I get you something for Valentine's Day?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. That really shouldn't matter if I think you're cheating on me. And actually, I think that getting me something would have been better than not getting me anything. I mean, I think that my feelings were pretty much valid at that point. That he didn't get me anything, and he didn't. He got me nothing. That Valentine's Day, I did not receive anything from him for Valentine's Day, and I had a bunch of presents for him in a Valentine's Day bag. Um, I got nothing, nothing at all. Um, I was pretty hurt by that. I was pretty hurt by that. I was really upset by that. Um, More red flags waving in my face. And I remember his birthday had come in April. I think, his birthday had come. And for his birthday, I got him a brand new lunch bag because he took his lunch to work. He needed a big one. I mean, he got like the big lunch bags because he needed it because he would take a lot of stuff during the day. And I remember I ordered it online because they didn't have it at the store, and it was really nice, and it was like the best one you can get in that kind of genre of lunch bags. And for his birthday, I remember I gave it to him, and I mean, I know he liked it, he appreciated it. But on my birthday, I got nothing. Again, I got nothing for my birthday. In fact, my birthday really wasn't even really recognized really when my birthday came. Um, During that last kind of year together, if you want to call it that, we didn't celebrate any holidays. No Valentines, no birthdays, even though I still celebrated his, he didn't celebrate mine at all. And it was very hurtful. Like, I was really hurt by that. And these are all the things that you will notice when you're in a devalue stage. The things that were once important, the little things, I'm talking the littlest things, don't even get acknowledged anymore. They're not even acknowledged. So these are all things that you really need to look out for. If you think you're with a narcissist and you think you're in the devalue stage, these things are obvious. These were all obvious to me too when I was going through it. I couldn't believe that this is what it was reduced to because, like I said, my relationship with him was always very normal. I always got flowers, even for my birthday. A lot of times he would say, I'll take you to the store and you could pick out something. Sometimes we would just do that. And that was good enough for me. Because I know, like, I'm a woman and, like, I know it's hard to, like, pick out stuff because I have a lot of stuff. So I was all right with it. But that particular year, there was really nothing. There was no real love anymore coming from him at all, especially like with caring and thoughtfulness and all that stuff and just sentimental kind of stuff. That was all gone. That was gone. And the funny thing is, when I brought up cheating and all that stuff like that, he would turn it around on me and say that I was accusing him of cheating, and he would basically turn it around on me like he did with when I asked him about Valentine's Day. He said, "Well, no, I'm not going to get you anything. You think I'm cheating on you?" He would do stuff like that. Um, Flip it around for it to be my fault. He would always flip it around and make it on me. Many times I would ask him about something and he would say, "No, why would I want to do that? You accuse me of cheating." And that was like the biggest thing with him, was that I used to accuse him of cheating. Instead of talking to me about it and trying to find out why I felt the way I did, which it's obvious if you look at the relationship timeline. But instead of like sitting down and talking to me about it, he chose to be very condescending about the cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never just sat down and accepted the fact and said, "Well, Jen, why do you think I'm cheating on you? What am I doing wrong that's making you feel like I'm cheating on you?" And then I can have a conversation about it and say, "Because of this, this, this." And I'd have a big long list of why I felt the way I did. But he never took the time to do that. He would get very angry, very upset. And it became like this big joke with his certain family member, would make jokes about it. And I'm like, well, if this happened to you, what would you think? If your timeline of your relationship started to really decline, what would you think? You know what I mean? Everybody was very condescending about it. It became like this huge joke, and it wasn't a joke at all to me because I had all the signs there. And maybe this is some sort of gaslighting. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know that much about narcissists and gaslighting, but I know that's a major, major trait of narcissists, how they gaslight you. Maybe that was what was going on at that time. It could have been. It very well could have been. But he never really took any, I don't know, like, he just didn't want to talk about it. When I would talk about cheating and stuff like that, he just always flipped it around that it was my fault, that I was like this terrible person because I was accusing him of cheating, which I was never really accusing him. I would ask him questions about it, of course, because I'm like, if you see a relationship dwindling down to the way mine did, which, like I said, my relationship with him was perfectly normal. And then, like I said, it just became like this downward spiral of no longer being included, no longer doing anything together, no longer celebrating holidays together. He was buying new clothes. He was doing, like I said, new foods, new clothes, watching TV shows that he would never watch. I mean, things that he would never in a million years watch. Foreign TV shows with like drug cartel stuff. Like, it was weird. Like, the whole thing was weird. And I know my ex. I knew him for, the time I was with him. I knew him very well. The first 5 years, 4.5 years I was with him, I knew exactly the kind of movies he liked. I knew what he would watch and what he wouldn't watch. Like, after a while, you're with someone, you live with someone, you get to know them pretty good, right? He started watching like weird shit. And I said, something is off. My instincts were telling me that, and I don't think my instincts were wrong. So watch out for that. When your partner cannot sit down with you peacefully, calmly, and talk to you about your feelings and why and how you feel the way you do, what's making you feel that way, what's making you think that I'm doing something behind your back. And if you can't come to a solution, Okay, because that person just will not take the fault, or or doesn't want to acknowledge your feelings, or doesn't want to sit down with you and talk to you, then that is someone that's not right for you. Someone who loves you is going to sit down with you, and they are going to prove to you that they're not doing anything. Okay, but my ex never did that. He never felt that he needed to prove anything to me or talk to me or do anything. Um, so ultimately, do I think that my ex cheated? This was a big thing between me and him for a while. I do. I think I truly do feel that my ex was seeing someone who may not have been available at the time. I do believe that he was talking to other people. I do. He may have been going on dates like I started doing at the end. He may have been doing that for maybe longer than I was. Maybe he started doing that maybe a year before I started doing it, because I started doing it in the September of 2015 is when I actually it was like maybe the end of August I started dating other guys. Well, I dated one guy. He may have started doing it maybe a year before I did. Yeah, I would say so. Do I think that there was just one person? I think there was definitely one person, but there might have been even more than one. I don't know. He may have been going on dating sites at this time and going on dates behind my back. That's possible too. But I do believe with my whole heart that he knew the person that he brought in after me. I believe that he knew her way before the breakup actually happened. I believe that's how he was able to get with that person so quickly. I broke up with him the very first week of November. I broke up with him, and by the first week of January, literally the end of December, he was already with someone, like telling me that he was in a relationship. So a month, 4 or 5 weeks. How do you meet someone in 4 and 5 weeks? I mean, that's impossible, right? This guy did. I believe he knew her. I believe he probably met her through the guy at work, most likely. I'm not saying definitely, but that's my gut instinct. Because that's when things started going wrong between me and him, when he met that one person, that one guy. And that guy kind of hung out with people like my ex did, like that kind of same kind of thing. So I would say that's where it happened. In 2019, when I saw my ex, after 4 years had passed and we kind of met up with each other, he was still telling me that he never cheated on me. He was still swearing up and down that he had never cheated. And I looked at him and I said, "You're still denying it? Like, you're still going to deny that you weren't cheating?" Now, let me just tell you, too, what cheating is, because cheating, the definition of cheating is different for different people. Some people think cheating is just sex, physical. But cheating is not just physical, it's not just sex. Cheating is doing something that you can't tell your significant other about. If you feel like you can't tell your girlfriend or boyfriend what you're doing with this other person, then that's cheating. So if you're going to see them on, Saturday or whatever, and you can't tell your girlfriend that you're going to see this person, then that's cheating. Okay? Cheating can be mental, emotional, physical. It's doing something that you know is wrong and that you cannot tell your girlfriend about. That's what cheating is. I believe my ex thinks that cheating is just sex or physical stuff, but that's not true. Carrying on, and I believe that giving another girl attention while you're with, your own person, I believe is cheating. And I'm not talking about just talking as a friend, because a lot of people have friends, and I had no problem with my ex-fiance, ex-narcissist, having friends. He had friends who were girls. I mean, they didn't like me, of course. I mean, I'm sure that he badmouthed me to them, but that's a whole other thing. But he did have friends who were girls. And I had no problem with him talking to other girls who were friends. Okay. I think that you can have, because I had a bunch of male friends. I mean, I still do have a bunch of male friends. There's nothing wrong with talking to the opposite sex, as long as the opposite sex knows that you're in a relationship and that they respect them. You know what I mean? That they respect that you're in a relationship. They respect your boyfriend or girlfriend. Then that's fine. But when there's disrespect starting to happen and they're talking bad about your boyfriend, and then that's no good. You got to get rid of that person. Um, a lot of times too, my ex narcissist would keep his girlfriends, the ones that he only had a few friends that were girls that I knew about. He wouldn't really talk to them in front of me either. He would talk to them when I wasn't around. He would talk to them maybe on the way home. He would do that, I believe, and I also believe that my ex narcissist used to do that on purpose, deliberate to me, to kind of make me feel, maybe start a fight with me, maybe be insecure. I know that he used to do that too. I understand more now about all the things that he used to do that now make complete sense. Because I used to say to my ex narcissist, how come you don't talk to her in front of me? Like, I don't care what you guys talk about. You guys talk about video games together or music. Like, I don't care that you talk to her. Um, why can't we all talk together? Many times I would have like my guy friends on the phone and I would always try and include my boyfriend, like my ex narcissist, when we were talking. Like, hey, there's a game on this weekend, there's a football game on. And I would try and always include my ex narcissist, but he would never include me in his conversations. Um, he was just like that. He was very secretive with certain people. You know what I mean? And it's just like, why can't you talk to them in front of me? Like, I don't care what you're talking about. Like, but he would do that too. It may have been on purpose to make me feel bad or to make me feel insecure or to make me feel untrusting of him, maybe. Because remember, he's a narcissist. So narcissists do this kind of crazy shit. Like, that's what they do. They play a lot of mind games. A lot of mind games. Um, but no, I do believe that my ex was carrying on some sort of friendship, relationship, something, as soon as he met that guy. And I do believe it's when he met that guy from work that things started to really go bad between us. And that person may have introduced him to other people that I didn't know about at the time. And that's what I truly believe. That's what I feel in my heart. It might be completely wrong. I might have the whole thing wrong, but if I put the pieces together and all the evidence that I have, I would say yes. He knew them before we broke up, probably through the guy from work. Um, so ultimately, yes, I do believe that my ex fiance cheated. Maybe it wasn't physical cheating, it might not have been sex, but it could have been. But I don't know, that's disgusting. Like, I'm very lucky I don't have any STDs from that. Thank God. Um, it may have just been like a mental, emotional thing on his end. I don't know what it was, but I know that our relationship basically was dying during that time, and there had to have been a reason for it. I didn't change. I was still the same person. I was still doing the same things. I was still the same girl. I didn't change. He's the one that changed, not me. So, when you look at the situation, I know it has to do with the guy that he met from work, that's when things went bad. All his friends prior to that were all good people. They all knew me. We all would talk together, hang out together. Most of his friends were married, really nice people. He just, met this one guy who was definitely not like that. And, he just went down the wrong road with this guy. And I think that's really when my relationship started to go wrong. um, so yeah, there are signs. There's lots of signs and symptoms when you're with someone that you're going to notice that something's going wrong. I think the hardest part for me was about that he would never admit to it. He was still denying the cheating when I saw him in 2019. He still was not coming to terms with that. The fact that he was cheating. The only way I would really get to know that it was if I was to actually talk to a family member or one of his really close friends. But it's not important to me anymore. This is 10 years ago. I don't care anymore anything about this guy or what he did 10 years ago. But I feel like be a man, have some, be a man and admit to what you did. He never could. He never did. And he just wouldn't. He would never admit that he was doing anything behind my back. Even years later, I thought, well, maybe we can have like a one-on-one, heart to heart, and he would basically open up and tell me, yeah, Jen, you were right. I was doing this, and then I could say, oh, okay. At least now I know. But he'll never do that. He just won't do that. Narcissists aren't going to come clean about nothing that they do. So it's pointless and fruitless to go down that road with them, thinking that they're going to actually take blame or accept fault. They're not going to do anything like that. So, yeah. But I just wanted to add that little story in there. When they stop doing things they normally do, celebrating your birthday, buying you Valentine's Day gifts, stop, you don't celebrate, the biggest day of the year, which is Valentine's Day, like for all couples, right? When you don't celebrate that anymore, these are all signs that they're probably doing that with somebody else, or they're spending their money on somebody else, or they're doing something with somebody else, right? So keep an eye open for that. Um, it's what they do. And they will do it behind your back as if they're doing nothing wrong. Like they validate themselves. They really do. Like they believe the things that they do, that nothing is wrong with it. So, anyway, that's it for this one. And I don't know what my next video will be on. I'm hoping that I can get my video camera up, but you know what? It's so busy. I still have a lot of Christmas shopping to do, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get my digital camera up and running. Hopefully, I'm going to have some time after Christmas to do that. But I still have a lot of stuff to do. So I was wrapping presents, and I still need to buy some presents. So I'm still not done. But anyway, that's it for this one.